new episodes. Let me tell you why I love Anchor. Like, seriously, everybody knows, that who listens to my podcast, that I'm a newbie. And I haven't had my podcast that long. But the reason why I love Anchor is because one, it's so easy. It's free and everybody love free. There's creation tools that you can record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. I'm always on my phone. Even if I'm on the go, I can record my podcast. I can edit my podcast. They distribute to all the streaming services, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Like, they do all of that for you within the app. You can make money from your podcast, no minimum listenership. Everything you need to know to make a podcast is in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's so easy. Like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. If you're passionate about something, make a podcast. It's so easy. And you can talk all day about whatever it is that you're passionate about. So go ahead and go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey, welcome to That Shit Was Poetic, where we touch on all things poetic, like music, poetry, art, movies, quotes, and famous poets. I'm your host, Nikki. So I'm back on another Friday. Hope you all had a good week. It's Friday. And guess what? The good thing about this Friday is, yes, you get to catch this vibe with me. Catch this vibe Fridays. That's what's up. So, what's up, guys? I'm so excited to be back here on another Friday with you all, celebrating, back talking like we normally do on Fridays. I missed last Friday, but I'm back to fill you guys in. So, I know I told you all that I was starting a new business venture, and I've started that business and it's doing really well. And this coming Saturday, I am having my first wine tasting for One Hope. And the wine tasting, well, it's not really a wine tasting, but more like a virtual party or a virtual fundraiser. And I'm raising funds to help fund anti racism books for children. And the reason I chose The Conscious Kid to have my first fundraiser for is because I really believe in starting children off young with building their self esteem. And I feel like, the more we can see our Black children can see themselves in books, on television, in movies, being able to see themselves, it will build their self esteem. So that's something that really was important to me. And I wanted that to be my first fundraiser. So let's get into it. So let's talk about these queens dropping new music. We have Beyonce and Brandy, two legends in the game. Both dropped some great albums. Beyonce dropped her visual album, Black is King. And I'm really looking forward to watching that. I hear that it's on Disney Plus. So I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna try to get this Disney Plus downloaded. But Brandy also dropped an album called B7. And I think both of those albums are, just showing homage to Black ancestry. And I love that about both of them. Brandy is doing her thing with her visuals, and I'm loving the whole Egyptian vibe that she's giving off. So I'm really loving it. You guys really go check those two albums out. So today I'm going to read to you two poems by R.H Sin, and it's from his book Whiskey, Words, and a Shovel, Volume 3. I've read a poem by him before on my podcast. Today, this poem is called Want, Desire, Lust. Being wanted is not enough. Desire is mostly bullshit. Lust is subpar. And oftentimes, giving in means giving up the best parts of your existence to those who will later treat you as if you don't exist. The same ones who want you may also intend to hurt you. It's never really apparent until the end. Friends become enemies. Lovers start to feel like strangers. And there's nothing strange about it. It's not enough to be wanted. Fuck desire. Fuck temptation. Preserve yourself for those who deserve you. This poem is called A Struggle of Mine. It's only human, you know. Sometimes we don't see things for what they truly are. We see things for what we want them to be. And this has been my struggle lately. When you want love, you see it in everything, even when it isn't there. That shit was poetic. So I have a question. How many new relationships do we have? Are there any new relationships? And if you're in a new relationship, to my listeners, how long does it take for you to become the real you in a new relationship? I know for me, it really doesn't take that long. Like if I'm vibing out with you, I'm vibing out with you. I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable being myself because I'm usually not trying to be anyone other than myself. And if we vibing out, like I can completely just be comfortable around a person. You know, of course, you're not going to give them all of you, but I feel like you have to be open, open yourself up, not be shy. Um, I don't know. I feel like it's not a hard thing for me. I don't know about you all, but if I'm on a date with someone new, like I kind of go off of, their what they're giving me. Like I'm going off of their vibe. Like if they're giving me cool, calm, collective, I'm giving them cool, calm, collective. And if they're giving me, that funny character, I can laugh, I can be silly, because I'm all those things. I'm cool, calm, collective. I'm funny. I have a sense of humor. I can definitely be serious at times. Um, I have a business side to me. Like I have a mature side. I have so many layers to myself, but I'm always me. I'm always me 24 hours a day. And I know, just seeing different relationships in the past and talking with your friends and just hearing about relationships. I know some people, like they say, I don't really show a person the real me until like maybe 6 months down the line. I think 6 months down the line, you start seeing a lot of things in a relationship. That's when the layers are starting to fall off. That's when, people's moods change. And I don't know, relationships are a tricky thing. Like, you definitely can't date someone just strictly over the phone. You can't date someone just strictly through text messaging. Like, you have to physically be in each other's presence to get the full person and to understand the full person. Like, you can understand their moods, you can understand their facial expressions, especially through text messaging and social media. You don't really understand where a person can be coming from through a message. That's why, I feel like it's a little bit better, when you're having conversations and you're talking face to face, because then you get to see how a person reacts to certain things. But I believe 6 months down the line, people, those layers begin to fall off. they begin to fall off slowly and slowly and slowly. And sometimes they're not good layers. Sometimes they are good layers. Sometimes it takes people a while to open up. I don't know if it takes me a while. I don't really know. I guess I would have to, ask someone. But if I feel comfortable with you, then I definitely am opening up. It doesn't take me a long time to open up with someone who I feel comfortable with. But I want to know what you guys think as far as how long does it take you to open up in a new relationship? What's funny is you can be dating someone and you're not completely being yourself, and you've been doing that for so long that you eventually want to become yourself, and it's like, damn, it's never the right time because you don't put on a front for so darn long that time goes by and it's like, I just want to show them the real me. But that's why I think, like, just be yourself from the beginning. Like, don't be anyone other than yourself. If you are, you know, a loud, obnoxious, extra person, and that's you, that's your character, that's who you're gonna be. Don't try to be, a quiet, you know, toned down type of person, because it's gonna show eventually later on. You're gonna be the real you, and it's gonna come out, and then that person is gonna be looking at you like, where did this person come from? But it's so cool, getting to know a person, being friends with someone, and getting to know the real them. And, those layers begin to fall off. And sometimes, like I said, if it's beautiful layers that are shedding, it's so exciting to see. But if it's them ratchet bad layers, it's like, nah, pull that shit back on. Put those layers back on. I'm not interested in trying to see those layers. Relationships are a tricky thing. They don't really have to be tricky, but I think people, they get lost in themselves and they make it tricky. Relationships can be a beautiful thing, but it's people who have dealt with so much, and they have a lot deep down inside of them. So it's like each relationship, each friendship is different, and everything is coming out. But how long in a new relationship before the real you comes out? That's the burning question I would love to know the answer to. That Shit Was Poetic has merch, guys. If you're excited as I am, please head over to thatshitwaspoetic.storeenvy.com. That's STORENVY.com, and grab our 11-ounce mug. If you're a coffee or tea drinker, listen to our podcast and sip your favorite beverage. If you love this podcast, please support our merch. So thanks for tuning in to That Shit Was Poetic. I'm your host, Nikki, and tune in every Friday for new episodes. To check out our old episodes, follow That Shit Was Poetic on all streaming services, Spotify or Google Play, or follow us on the Anchor app to leave a comment. To be featured in our podcast, email or DM us on thatshitwaspoetic@gmail.com, or follow us on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in.